The room fell silent. Dozens of alien eyes fixated on the stretcher as a single human, smiling, broken, and somehow still alive, waved with a mangled arm. Dr. Nix Thethera's tentacles trembled. This wasn't supposed to be possible. A crash at 160 kilometers per hour should have liquefied any sentient being, but the human laughed it off. Only broke 17 bones. In that instant, every alien student realized one horrifying truth. On Deathworld Earth, pain wasn't a warning. It was motivation. If that opening left your jaw on the floor, just wait. Humanity's madness is only getting started. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who thinks humans are just average. Because by the end of this story, you'll understand why the galaxy doesn't fear Earth. It studies it, in pure disbelief. The Galactic Medical Academy shimmered like a living starship, its walls pulsing faintly with bioluminescent veins. Hundreds of alien students filled the amphitheater, whispering in excitement and dread. For the first time in Academy history, they would study a human. Dr. Nix Thethera adjusted her ocular membranes, trying to mask her nerves. Even after decades of research, humans remained a paradox, classified as a level 12 Deathworld species, and yet, somehow, thriving. "Settle down," she warbled, her voice resonating through the universal translator field. "Today, you will witness something extraordinary, a living human patient." The room erupted in murmurs. A living human. Here? Zartix, a bright-eyed arthropod student, raised his appendages nervously. "Professor, isn't that unsafe?" Nix's skin flushed a calming blue. "Oh, quite unsafe," she replied with what might have been a smile. "But that's why it's fascinating." On the hollow screen behind her, images flickered. Humans surviving fire, falls, and fractures that would destroy most species. "They call their world Earth," she continued, "but we call it the Death World, because everything there wants them dead. And yet somehow, they endure." Her tendrils coiled with anticipation. "Prepare yourselves! The human has arrived!" The door slid open with a hiss, and the atmosphere shifted instantly. Every alien in the amphitheater froze as the stretcher hovered in, and on it lay the human. "Hey there!" she grinned, lifting one arm in greeting. The other hung twisted at an impossible angle. "Name's Samira Patel. Don't mind the mess." A ripple of unease passed through the class. Several students dimmed their bioluminescent skin in horror. One fainted outright. Dr. Nix Thethera's tendrils tightened. "Human? Are you in pain?" Samira laughed. "Oh, this? Nah, just a rough landing. Wingsuit crash on Mars, clipped a cliff at about 160 kilometers an hour, broke 17 bones, punctured a lung, ruptured a spleen. You know, the usual." The class collectively recoiled. Even the walls seemed to hold their breath. Zartix whispered, trembling. "That should have killed you." "Yeah," Samira said, still smiling. "That's what the cliff thought, too." Dr. Nix scanned her in disbelief. Vital signs normal, neural activity stable. "You were conscious during impact?" "Half of it," Samira replied casually. "I remember thinking, wow, that's a lot of blood. Then I blacked out. Woke up starving. Got anything to eat?" The class nearly panicked. She was joking, while dying. The observation room dimmed. Holo cameras zoomed in as Dr. Zhang, the Academy's only human xenobiologist, entered. "Don't worry," he said calmly. "She's tougher than she looks." Samira grinned. "You saying I look weak, Doc?" Dr. Zhang chuckled and began resetting her shattered arm with a snap so loud it echoed through the chamber. Half the class screamed. One gelatinous student split in shock. Samira just laughed. "Oh, that sounded perfect. Anyone recording?" Dr. Nix Thethera's tendrils quivered. "You're in agony. Why do you joke?" "Because pain's just data," Samira said with a shrug. "My brain says something's wrong. I fix it. Easy." The alien stared as the human's bones realigned in seconds, guided by nanobandages and a regenerative serum. Her vital signs spiked, then stabilized. Her pulse quickened, muscles tightening, cells dividing faster than any medical model predicted. In real time, her body repaired itself. A crystalline student whispered, voice shaking, "Professor, her nervous system, it's adapting. It's learning the pain." Samira looked up, smiling through sweat. "That's the thing about humans. We don't just heal, we upgrade." Dr. Nix felt her heart's race. Somewhere deep inside, awe replaced fear. This wasn't recovery, it was evolution. Days passed, and the alien students couldn't stay away. What began as horror had turned into fascination. Samira, once shattered and bleeding, was now walking, even training, while her bones still knitted themselves together. "Watch this," she said one morning, doing one-armed push-ups with a grin. "Still a bit sore, though." Zartix's antennae twitched in disbelief. "Your pain receptors, they don't overload." Samira smirked. "They do. I just stopped listening." Dr. Nix Thethera's monitors lit up with impossible readings. Neural regeneration beyond theory. Tissue recovery faster than machine-assisted therapy. Every scan defied logic. Yet there she was, humming a tune from Earth and laughing like pain was optional. Soon the students began experimenting. They tested human medical methods on other species, shock therapy, controlled stress, accelerated oxygen cycles. Miraculously, patients began surviving trauma once thought fatal. Dr. Zhang grinned proudly. Human biology isn't just durable, it's adaptive. Stress strengthens it. By the end of the week, the Galactic Academy had rewritten 3 medical textbooks. Pain wasn't just damage anymore. It was the body's language of growth. Samira winked at the class. "Guess you could say we don't fear suffering. We train with it." The academy was buzzing. The human method had already saved 3 non-human patients, including a gelatinous being who gleefully described their recovery as totally awesome. Dr. Nix Thethera was still processing the data when an emergency alert flashed across her console. Source: Human. Subject: Samira Patel. The screen flickered, showing Samira strapped to a rocket board, grinning at the camera. "Quick question, Professor," she said cheerfully. "How do you feel about surfing the rings of Saturn?" Dr. Nix's tentacles stiffened. "Samira, no!" Too late. The feed showed the human launching herself into orbit, skimming chunks of ice and rock at deadly velocity, laughing the whole time. "Don't worry," she shouted over the comms. "It's for science," the alien students screamed. One fainted, another whispered, trembling, "She just healed from 17 fractures, and she's doing it again." Dr. Nix exhaled, her skin flickering between panic and reluctant admiration. "She's not reckless," she murmured. "She's human." On the screen, Samira raised a fist, streaking across Saturn's glow. "See you next semester!" she yelled before vanishing into the mist of frozen storms. The room fell silent. Then, softly, Dr. Nix said what everyone was thinking. "Humans, they never stop surviving."